What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 2 a.m. in Sweden. I'm one of your hosts of the show, Hayes, aka Ayo Shifty, with the one, the only Steven at Steven_Springs. Steven, how you been? How's life going?
Well, Penn State's lost 6 in a row, so not great, but
Congratulations.
we move forward.
Hmm.
Same old shit. I got Mason had his first swim meet over the weekend, so I have 3 shout outs at the end. So I'll just wait until the end to talk about everything. 2 of them are for Mason, and then the other one is for my daughter Mia. So yeah, everything else is the normal shit on my side. Penn State's lost 6 in a row. Quick slants will be out Thursday, I guess. Maybe I'm not even sure anymore. We got Michigan State this weekend. We got to win the final 3 games to be bowl eligible. Not sure how that's going to go. We should be favored in all of them. We have Michigan State on the road. Nebraska comes to town, and then we finish up with Rutgers, I believe. I can't remember that's home or away. So we should win. We should be favored in all those. We should beat those teams. But I've also thought we were going to win a couple of the last 6. So anyway, I'll wait to the end to give my shout outs.
So, for anyone that hasn't listened to the Quick Slants, make sure to listen to it. He does end up talking about his all offense, all defense teams as well in one of his recent episodes of the Quick Slants, and he just goes in depth. He gives a shout out to one of the guys from my hometown as well, Mr. Dion Butler. So just make sure to tune into that one. Yeah. So make sure to tune in on that side. The other part I want to bring up before we dive into anything else, Steven, did you hear the news about Jair Alexander?
No, what was that?
Okay, well, Mr. Alexander, how do we put this? What's the best way to? He got traded to the Eagles from the Ravens, so it was a 6th-round pick for a 7th-round pick, and then he informed the team today that he's stepping away for personal reasons.
Why? What did they say? Why?
He said he just wants to focus on his life, essentially. So now they're saying, did the Ravens know about this, and that's why they traded him? Because they just signed him in the offseason, and now he's gone.
What? And didn't they sign him to a pretty hefty contract too?
You're right. Yes, that did actually happen.
Dog, only in sports.
So that's like one thing I wanted to end up talking about. The other part, yeah, exactly, only in sports. I want to dive into the NBA to start off with everything. Did you see Victor Wembanyama and his 3-point shot to end the game?
I did, yes.
Yeah, the league is in trouble if he's hitting game-winning 3-point shots to start. There's no way someone that big should be able to do that, and who's going to put a hand in his face? That's the first thing. Second one, we just got to bring up the elephant in the room, and that is Nico Harrison finally getting fired. Are you surprised at all by any of this?
No, I think the Mavs are 3-8. AD's not playing. Kyrie's not playing. Klay Thompson's not Klay Thompson. This team would have been dope 5 years ago. This team would be running through the league 5 years ago. But those guys aren't healthy. So, yeah, I mean, that's what happens. That's kind of what everyone thought was going to happen, right? Like AD for Luka. If AD can stay healthy, sure, but like that's a big if. So you're kind of just putting all your eggs in that basket. Why? Again, no one knows why you traded Luka. But yeah, no, it's not surprising that he's going to get canned. They're 3-8. That's tough to come back from. 3-8 is tough, man. I know it's a long season. I know they have 82 games. I know like it's been done before, but like 3-8 without your 2 best players, like and Cooper Flag is having an okay season so far. Not great, but not terrible. Need him to like kind of pick up a little bit and probably get to the next level sooner rather than later. But no, not surprising that he is going to be canned at all.
So how do I put this? So one of the 2 of us actually chose for one of their teams. For one of their teams, it was the Mavericks. And it wasn't Steven that chose him.
Crazy, right?
Yes, that's insane. Steven thought about it, but I went first.
You said it first.
So I got the Mavericks on that one, and I have to end up sticking with them. They have the second worst record in the West, only in front of the New Orleans Pelicans. And have you looked at the East?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's some shit. 1
Yeah,
in 10.
I mean, yeah, 1-10 Wizards game last night. Pistons Wizards. I mean, should we just talk about that?
Yep.
Pistons have won 7 in a row. Shout out to the homies.
Shout out.
Shout out to the homies. No one thinks the Pistons
Yeah.
are for real, but like fuck them because the Pistons are balling. Speaking of that, Kate Cunningham last night had 46, but everyone's bitching about it because which I don't know. I'll get to that in a second. Cunningham had played 45 minutes, had 46 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. Okay, dope triple double in overtime. Shot 14 of 45. You know, NBA record most missed shots in a game.
Jesus. Yeah.
Was two of 11 from 3, 16 of 18 from the foul line. So I mean, look, he was a plus 10 overall, like in the plus minus, which that indicates what I don't know, but it's a plus 10, so we'll take it. Like I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. None of those numbers matter. Like none of those numbers matter. Like as long as you win, that is the only thing in sports that matters is winning. And like, I mean, I don't care how. Like Kate Cunningham right now is also shooting, I think, in the mid 40s. Like he's shooting 43% from the field, but still averaging 27, almost 10 assists and 5.5 rebounds a game. I don't like. As a Pistons fan, it doesn't matter. As long as we win, that's the only thing that matters in sports. If we would have lost last night, I would have felt the same way. Like it's like that game really could have gone either way, but the Pistons were without like half the rotation. It's a back-to-back. So, wasn't great box score, but he still had a triple-double in overtime and a win. So, like, it doesn't matter. People bitching about his, like, the fact that he missed 31 shots. Who cares?
That's
the Pistons
insane.
won. The only thing that matters is the winning. The Pistons, it also doesn't matter who you play. You got to go do it. And I say this all the time, year after year. I say this with Penn State football all the time. Like, it doesn't matter who you play in the beginning of the season, your non-conference games or whatever. It doesn't matter who you play in the NBA. Like, the Pistons can't control their schedule. They can't control who sucks or who doesn't. Like, you're not going to play the Thunder or the Knicks and the Lakers and all those like every single game. You're going to play dog shit teams and like you got to find ways to win. And again, that is the only thing that matters is winning. And the Pistons are, newsflash, 9-2, second best record in the NBA, first in the East. So everyone else can just suck it.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
So shout out to Petey. He says that he's a Pistons fan. Also, I don't know for anyone that's been noticing, viewers tonight have been just going up and down. Like at one point I saw 30, then it came back down to 20. So it might be because we talked about the Pistons, might be because we started off with basketball. But thanks for joining us on everything that we're talking about. The top 3 on both, I'll go over Pistons, Knicks, Heat. I can tell you right now the Heat are probably going to drop some. I don't think they're going to stay up there. And then looking at the Western, it's Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets. I can really see those 3 sticking around there. Another thing for anyone that pays attention, you do have LeBron James going to be practicing with the G League team. He is not going to play. I can assure you this is not baseball when they play with the minor league team. No. They will never do that because that game will be twice stupid. For anyone that remembers the Drew League when LeBron came out and he was like late and stuff like that, that's exactly what will happen if they end up doing that.
I mean, we're throwing off the scoreboard, throwing it
exactly.
You're doing a bunch of shit.
Doing whatever.
You got 70 a game against those guys.
You would see. So that's the one side I want to talk about over there. I want to switch over now into college football. Do you want to start or do you want me to take it?
I'm dead inside when it comes to college football, but go ahead, dude.
So, I'll run through the rankings real fast and I'll go through the college football playoffs because one team sticks out to me, especially their journey. 1 through 5, Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Bama, and Georgia. 6 through 10, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas. 11 through 15, Oklahoma, BYU, University of Utah, Vandy, Miami. 16 through 20, Georgia Tech, USC, Michigan, UVA, Louisville. 21 through 25, Iowa, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, USF, and also Cincinnati. 2 things I want to bring up there. The first one is, have you seen the different things that USF does for the different celebrations?
No, I did. I tuned into their game last week, I think it was, and they decimated US. No, I forget who they played. Doesn't matter. They decimated them, and I didn't see a touchdown during that game. And they scored like 50 points. So
Mhm.
I did not see it. But what do they do?
Okay, so during each game, they basically have different cameras. So they've had one of those pixel cameras before. They've also had who did they just play? They had like a pixel camera. They just did a bird feeder in the last game. They played University of Texas, San Antonio. That's who they
That's
just
it.
ended up playing,
Yep.
UTSA. So they have like a bird feeder, and it's like an old school image, but they also have a new school image. They've just been doing various different things. It's crazy because they're USF, so not as many people are going to talk about them. But if it was a bigger name school, it might be pushed out there. Am I promoting this? No, I'm just saying what I saw on social media. About it. The other part that I do want to bring up is Alabama and Texas. Those two teams were left for dead in the beginning of the season, and then they've slowly crept up. But Steven and I talk about this all the time. You can lose your games in the beginning, but if you win those games at the end, you're good. You can't take that loss at the end. And the big part right now is it looks like if all continues, it would be Ohio State and Indiana, and then Texas A&M and Alabama for SEC and Big Ten. But you also have 5 teams in the SEC that are still up there. And each one of them have been sending out different SEC championship game tickets and stuff. So I don't know, 6 in the 11 are SEC, and then you have 3 in the top 10 from the Big Ten, and then you have Notre Dame that's been chilling up there. Thoughts, comments on the top 15 to 25?
Fuck Indiana. I still don't think anyone's beating Ohio State.
No.
I just think like Carnell Tate didn't play against Purdue. At least I didn't see him in the first half play. But they have the best player in college football, Jeremiah Smith. They have a great defense. I just don't think anyone's gonna beat them this year, which sucks, but whatever. Indiana, look, dude. Did you watch the Penn State game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
they had a chance.
Yeah, duh. Thanks, dude. I have never seen a quarterback like Fernando Mendoza. I've never seen a quarterback get hit so many times on the arm or like in the process of throwing it and still complete those passes. Never seen it before. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I have the stat. Somehow this happens at Penn State every so often when we play a team like this. And their wide receiver, Charlie Decker, heading into Saturday, for his career, had 7 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown. On Saturday, he had 7 catches, which equals his career high. He had 118 yards. I mean, it's not 157, but like it's there. No touchdowns, but he had insane catches all day. Like, come on, dog. And yeah, we had multiple chances, but I don't know, dude. It sucks. I don't feel like talking about it, but
y'all scored 14 in the fourth after being down 17-7.5.
It doesn't even matter. We lost, so it doesn't matter. Let's see. Yeah, Texas. I mean, it just sucks, dude. Like, it sucks. Every time I look at these rankings, I get so frustrated because we're not there. But A&M, sure, Bama, Georgia, like you can't count those teams out. Texas Tech, their defense looked great against BYU. Oregon found a way to win against Iowa. In Iowa, it was raining, really shitty game. Classic Big Ten game, though. I see Pitt sneaking in at 22. Fuck them. Fuck Pitt. Yeah, so, I mean, Vanderbilt's still up there. Utah, BYU. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's beating Ohio State. And if I had to guess anybody else right now, put money on them, I'd probably say Indiana because they'll meet in the Big Ten title game, barring some unforeseen circumstances. But yeah, I don't think anyone's beating Ohio State this year, which totally blows.
So 2 questions I have for you, Steven, as the expert with all of this. The first one is the Big Ten and also the SEC, those championship games. Would you rather be a team that makes the championship game or just misses the championship game because you probably are guaranteed a spot in the playoff compared to, do you think if you lose the championship game, you're going to bounce out of the playoff picture?
So Penn State lost in the Big Ten title game last year, but we were 11-1 heading into that game. So I think we were guaranteed a spot anyways. But if it's, there are going to be maybe there will be some conference title game where it's like a 2-loss team or like, a 3-loss team. If they finish 9-3 and they go and they win a game, they're 10-3. Like maybe they weren't going to be in before, but since they won, like automatics, like then the team that lost. So there's going to be someone on the bubble on the edge of things that, if they lose, so they drop completely out. Like if Texas makes it, like if they finish 10-2, if they were fifth or sixth by the time the season ends, which they very well could be if they beat Texas A&M, and they got Georgia this weekend. So like, Texas might make it up there, but they finish 10-2 and they lose the Big 12 title game. What does that mean for them? Like if they were ranked in the top 4 or whatever, like are they going to fall that much? There's going to be someone where that happens too. And then like in the case of Ohio State and Indiana, they remain number 1 and number 2 the rest of the way. They're going to obviously meet in the Big 10 title game. Loser of that game, do they fall out of the top 4 and lose a bye?
Exactly.
They lose a bye and then probably slip to the 5th seed, or they've been number 1, number 2 for a few weeks now and could likely be a month or so, where they are number 1 and number 2. So they just stay there. Like anyone else have like an impressive win? So there's a lot of other factors, but it's like a bubble team maybe like a Texas if they finish 10-2 and they lose, but like they're ranked high, or again, in the case of Ohio State, Indiana, the loser of that game, do they fall out of the top 4 and lose a bye? If like it's a great game. So yeah, there's going to be someone where something doesn't go their way and like they get bounced from the playoffs or whatever. But 12 teams, it's really hard to like stumble that far unless you get blown out or it's an upset type of thing.
Yeah. So that was one thing I wanted to end up bringing up on that side. The other part is, have you heard the recent details with the whole Brian Kelly not potentially getting all his money, but he's doing a lawsuit against him to get his money?
I did. I don't really. Those fucking things kill me, dude. I hate it. Like only in sports, right?
Exactly.
Only in sports. But yeah, fuck Brian Kelly too.
Yeah. So
no, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. Kind of.
So my last one, and I hope you heard about this. Oregon State. Did you hear about the interim coach?
No, God, no.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay, so Oregon State had a head coach.
Yep.
And then they had an interim head coach. It was Rob Akey. They just lost to Sam Houston State, who was 0-8. So they fired the interim head coach. And now they put the OC, so offensive coordinator, Ryan Gunderson, is now going to be the interim head coach.
Wow. So is really like the interim head coach? He's not like the interim head coach? They already fired that guy?
Yep, they already fired him. So are you now paying out 2 salaries for the rest of the year?
Yeah.
And what difference does it make? They weren't going to do anything this year.
Sure. Like, why not just let them play it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be paying the buyouts too in that one.
So that's, I don't know. I've never heard of a situation like that, but now apparently people are saying they're close to hiring their head football coach. My thing personally is, I don't know why any of this matters. Some people are saying they might end up bringing in somebody from Wisconsin. Respectfully, why would you bring in someone from Wisconsin to go to Oregon State when they're all around the same level at that point? But y'all might know some that I don't know. We'll switch it over to the NFL. And I want to go back to my notes because Steven did bring this up. Steven, do you remember a specific head coach you said might be getting fired soon?
I did. Brian Daboll. Yes. Gone.
Brian Daboll.
Took long enough.
Yep. So we talked about this in week 8. That's when you first brought it up. The 2 you said were Mike McDaniel and Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll is gone. So that's checked off. Your next one you're going for right now is Mike McDaniel. The other part about that, some people were saying, Jackson Dart has been in the concussion protocol 7 times. 7 times. And most times he comes back in the game.
Yeah, I can't repeat here what I said when I texted you about him and Bo Scatterbo, but
yeah,
I mean, as someone who's like been in concussion protocol a lot when I played in high school, I mean, we're getting to like his concussions haven't seemed as bad as Tua's, like in terms of like what we see on TV, but like, I mean, it's still a concussion. So
yeah,
at some point you gotta, like, we talked about this with Tua, like, how is there no one in his camp and his team and his family, like, yo, dude, you're what, 23 and you're gonna be brain dead by 30? Like, can you slow up a little bit? And you got some coin, you can probably make money, in some commercial or some shit like that. But yeah, that's a lot, dude. That's a lot.
Steven.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So it's him. You have Cam Scatterbo that got injured and he had his concussions as well. And you have Malik Neighbors. So they were saying that the Giants head coaching job might be one of the most coveted because of all the pieces that they do have. They just need someone that's in there. And then Russell Wilson was a little surprised if you looked at his when he was going to get brought into the game. Also, you can tell it's very different for him now, coming off the bench and coming in the game compared to when he was always starting the game.
Jeez, yeah.
So that's on that side of the house. The other part I want to go into is what everyone looks forward to every single week. And I'll dive into a lot of my notes here because one of them is Joe Burrow is supposed to be coming back within the next 3 weeks. That seems fast. Some people are saying that that's about right, but they were saying he was going to be out till December at one point, and now he's coming back early. So first game we have is Jets Patriots.
Pats.
So I have the Pats in that one. The Jets, although they won, they don't look good at all. And if you looked at the stat sheet for Justin Fields, he basically had 60 plus yards passing. 40 of those yards came on one pass to Breece Hall. So we really only had 16 yards passing. I don't think he's going to be their starting quarterback next year. And I think he might just be a backup or out the league soon. Next one we have is Commanders Dolphins.
Both teams the Commanders are turning into some ass. Dolphins, even though they won, they somehow beat the Bills. They're still some ass. But the Commanders are less ass. So I'm going with the Commanders. Actually, no. I think these teams are. I think the Commanders are going to turn into more ass, and the Dolphins are going to turn into less ass. So I'm going with less ass. I'm going with the Dolphins.
So I have the Dolphins.
Both teams are ass.
They are. With the Commanders, they don't have Jaden Daniels yet, but they did say Jaden Daniels will be coming back this year. One of my friends was just at the game over the weekend and was talking to the team, and they said they're going to bring him back, which is crazy that you're really going to bring him back at that point. Panthers Falcons.
I'm going to go with the Falcons.
So I have the Falcons in this one. Don't really have a dog in that fight. Bucks Bills.
I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think they're the better team.
I have the Bills in that one as well. Bucks do look not bad. You could just tell that they need their running back, Bucky Irving, back, and then they need some more wide receiver help. They could have pulled that game out last week, but Patriots were just on another level the whole time. Texans, Titans.
Titans are especially ass. Tickets as low as $15. That's crazy.
Crazy.
That is nuts. Yeah. Whoa. I'm gonna go with the Texans on that one. Whew. Yeah, you know how bad you gotta be for your tickets.
That's terrible. Like you can go to a high school game for more than that at some places.
I'm sure it's like getting in an Old Dominion game, right? I mean, shout out, dude.
Vikings.
Shout out. Bears.
So I have the Vikings. I'll go with in this one. Although Bears aren't bad. I don't know. It's one of those of neither of them are going to be at the top of the North. So I know Steven isn't the biggest JJ McCarthy fan out there, but we're going to keep hope alive for the Vikings. Packers Giants.
Packers Giants are obviously falling apart.
I don't need to say anything about that one. Bengals Steelers. I want to give you the floor for at least 2 minutes.
I'm going to go with the Steelers because it's not a primetime game. I'm not picking the Steelers the rest of the season during a primetime game. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Not picking them for a primetime game. 4:25 games, I'll pick them, obviously. But 1 o'clock, 4:25 games, there's only 2 games I'm picking Steelers games. I've been through this before with the Steelers. I'm not. Yeah, primetime games, they look like absolute dog shit. So I'm going with the Steelers. And the Bengals, they're not that great. Steelers offense isn't great. Looked awful against the Chargers, just real bad. Rodgers missed a ton of throws that he usually makes. I think that was kind of a one-off as well. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's like suddenly just falling off a cliff and he's just going to turn out to be inaccurate. I think that's a one-off, but they just don't look good on primetime. This is not a primetime game. 1 o'clock in Pittsburgh. I'm going to Steelers. They need to win because the Ravens also are starting to win as well. So I think the Steelers are going to win that one.
So a couple of things that I did want to bring up in terms of this. The first one is exactly what you said, and that's the Ravens. I don't know if people remember. I was talking about this before when the Ravens are maybe 3 or 4 games behind the Steelers, but yet they still had the Ravens as the odds-on favorites end up winning that division.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always like, you have to know something if you're still putting them as the odds-on favorites, whereas the Steelers should be the clear-cut favorites to win that. Steelers, it was their division to lose.
Yep.
So now they need to start winning a lot of these games. This is a big one that they need to end up winning. The other part is, I'm gonna be honest. I tried to watch the Chargers Steelers game, but when the end of the first quarter is 3-2, it makes
Tough
it
game.
pretty hard.
There were
to
some
end
there
up
were
watching
some
that.
there were some tough games. The that Broncos Raiders game Thursday night was
Yeah,
absolute. That might have
that was
been.
not good.
I'm not prisoner of the moment with it, but like that might have been one of the worst football games I've seen in a very long time. Like
10-7.
I've seen Penn State lose 6-4 in a game, but this was like nothing, just no flow to the game. That game last
Mhm,
night, at least at least it was like somehow an exciting scoreless game. That
mhm.
game, like the punting was awful. The Broncos punter had like 3 straight punts were dog shit. Geno Smith got sacked
Yeah.
5 times in the second quarter. Like penalties left and right. Ugh, that was just an embarrassing game to watch.
Mhm. So my question for you, because I was talking to some people about this a couple of days ago, would you rather go to a football game where it's 0-0 going into the third or fourth quarter, or would you rather have it a high scoring game?
Oh, high scoring game for sure.
So,
Absolutely.
because and I was talking to someone, and I said they used to have games, the score would be 13-7 or so, but
Yeah.
that the commissioner said we got to add those points. That's really what people come to see. And I'm
Mhm.
saying this because last night, going into the fourth quarter, the score was 3-0. Did I
Yeah.
watch the whole game? Absolutely not. There's no way I'm watching 3-0. And then a lot of people that care about fantasy, they're caring about the touchdowns. Whereas this game, it did have a decent amount of fantasy points, just probably not the way that you expected it. But needless to say, with all that, I have the Steelers in that one. Next one, we have Chargers Jags.
Fuck the Jags, go Chargers.
Fuck the Jags. I have the Chargers in that one. Next game, we have the Seahawks and Rams.
This is gonna be a good game. I don't think anyone's seen the Rams play all season. I don't think anyone from the East Coast has seen them play all season. I like the Seahawks in this one. I think their offense is starting to click. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
So just to be the opposite to see what ends up happening, I'll go with the Rams in this one. Both teams are really good. The Rams offense looks great. You have Devontae Adams and Puka when they're both healthy. Matthew
Mhm.
Stafford is doing what Matthew Stafford does all
Yeah,
the
no one's
time.
talking about it.
No. And now JSN is the leading receiver because Puka got hurt. But you have 2 of the top receivers in the game right now. And shout out to Sam Darnold, because
Shout
this
out.
man in the beginning of his career with the Jets and everything wrote him off. And now it's like, he's doing what he needs to do to just get a paycheck, do whatever it is. But I have the Rams in that one. Next one, 49ers Cardinals.
Oof. Man, I'm gonna go with the Niners.
I have the Niners. The Cardinals are not great. Ravens and Browns.
I gotta go with the Ravens, man. They're starting to roll.
Yep, they
Makes
got
me a
Lamar
little
back.
nervous.
I know. I got the Ravens in this one. Chiefs Broncos.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I think this is a must win for them with that
Mhm.
division kind of not being out of reach, but this could definitely push it out of reach if they lose.
Yeah.
But I think the Chiefs win it.
So I know it probably won't happen because Patty Mahomes can come through when it counts, but I'm going with the Broncos. That division, it's almost a 3-team race. The Raiders are out of it since the start. You have the Broncos 8-2, Chargers 7-3, and then the Chiefs 5-4. What I was trying to explain to people is the Chiefs are now doing what the Warriors would always do. They don't need first place. They just need to make it into the playoffs. Once they're in the playoffs, then they're fine. But I'll go with the Broncos in that. If the Broncos can win, I will put them in that top tier category. If they lose, they're just one of those teams, aka like the Memphis Grizzlies, who you have a great regular season record, but then you don't end up coming through during the playoffs. Next one, Lions, Eagles.
I'm gonna go with the Lions, dude. Jared Goff looks real good, completing 74% of his passes, 20 touchdowns, 3 picks. I mean, they dominated the Commanders over the weekend, but I like the way the Lions are playing. So I'm gonna go with the Lions. Sorry.
Yeah. Nope. I have the Eagles in this one. One thing that I will say, and we talk about it every single year, that Ravens Lions trade was probably one of the most fair, great trades for both organizations. Rams got their championship that it needed. Lions are relevant every single year since then, and they continue to just get more pieces because of it too. Going into the next one, Cowboys Raiders.
I'll go with the Cowboys. Raiders are booty cheeks.
I'm going with the Cowboys as well. They did just get a bunch of different defensive players. We'll see how that ends up working out for them. I still will say, although they got Logan Wilson, I really want the Bengals to do some with their defense because there's no way in hell that can be a thing, that the Bengals can still be that bad. But I'll start with the what you got, and then I'll end up sending over to Steven because I know he has more of them. Just thank you to the people that tuned in today. That's really the big one because we had over 30, so that was a big shout out. And then we had PD, Wyatt, Shay, Praveen, and we had a couple others, but 2 of them were Pistons fans. That was one thing I saw. Someone else said Jordan over LeBron. What you got?
Okay, so 3 things. 2 for the kids, 2 for both, 2 for Mason, 1 for Mia. So both things are for the kids. Number 1 for Mason. He had his first swim meet for his off-season swim club over the weekend, and took first place in the freestyle. Dominated freestyle, like dominated these kids next to him. So that was cool. Kids got terrible anxiety, but you know we work on it, and he powered through it and dominated that. I think he finished like 5th or 6th in the breaststroke. So very happy for him. Shout out to Mason for that one. So I mean, was cruising in the freestyle, set a new personal best as well.
Good. You didn't have to take him to the car?
No, not this time. This was the polar opposite of the spectrum in terms of how things went with this. So yes, very happy with that. There was no beatdown. I'll tell the story after this one, but shout out to Mia, my daughter, for being the normal one of the family in terms of my kids. Mason is like just 100 miles an hour all the time. Bro, we were like, I watched the game with Mason. So I gotta give a shout out to her because Mason gets a lot of like the attention because he's like a fucking spaz. And it's just like, he's an athlete, whatever. He's, all this kind of good stuff. And he's just like the outgoing one. And Mia is like the more reserved one when it comes to a lot of things. So she doesn't get a lot of like spotlight on her, but she's like the calm one of the bunch. So gotta have both. So we do. So shout out to Mia for that one.
Shout out.
So Saturday, it was me and Mason watching the Penn State game. So me and the homie watched the game, and we have like this, like gymnastics type of setup in the basement. We have like mats and all that kind of good stuff, and we just have like a little Nerf football. So like over the course of like the 3 hours that you're watching the game, my man will just run back and forth for like not for 3 hours, but during commercial breaks. I'm like, all right, we can toss the rock around during the commercial breaks. So my man's just like 100 miles an hour, just boom, 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 diving, flipping, all this kind of shit. So parents know this, like it's hard to like, sometimes it's hard to not swear around your kids because it's just like it's just part of your vocabulary. So it's not like I walk around the house dropping F-bombs all day, right? Or like I hit my elbow and I'm like, oh, shit, and like they hear it, but like it's also like stupid, dumb things like that. He'll call me out on it all the time, but like they know not to say it. Now it does slip out sometimes. So 4th quarter of the Penn State game, final drive, I was like, look, dude, him and I are like, I'm pacing, like, dude, I'm sweating, like my heart's racing, I'm nervous right now. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. So watching the final drive, him and I are, we're locked in. So, I told him, I was like, look, dude, I'm probably gonna say a couple words that daddy shouldn't say, but like I'm gonna say it anyways because it's like this is what happens during the game. All right, like this is how things go. Like, and he's like, what are you gonna say? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it whenever I say it. So I was like, times I was like, man, shit. Like drop a couple of fuck, dropped a couple of those one time. Like, that's all I said. I just said the word. I didn't say any sort of sentence. So after the game, we lost, and I was cooked, dude. I was done. So I fucking tossed a pillow across the room and picked up a Sunny D, threw it across the room. So I was like, all right, okay, I'll give you a pass. Mommy's not home. If you want to say a bad word, I'll let you say a bad word. Like 5-10 minutes after the game. So I was like, if you want to say something about the game, or if you want to say a bad word, whatever, I'll let you say it. And I'm like, what do you want to say? He's like, oh, let me think about it. And I was like, all right, dude, you got 2 choices, either shit or fuck. Like you got 2 choices. Man. couple minutes later, he comes back to me. He's like, all right, I got it. I'm like, all right, go ahead. He's like, what the fuck was that? I mean, just let it rip. He really emphasized the F word on that one, too. It was great. And I felt like, I'm like, all right, yep, that's my guy. Like right there. My guy is locked in with me through and through. You know, it's gonna be a problem when he's like, 13, 14, and he's
yeah.
But he was
teachers
like,
every time.
Yeah, I had, so he was, and then my wife came home, Brooke came home, and he was like, Daddy, let me swear. And what did you say? He's like, I'm not telling you what I said. So he kept it in. But then, he was we had to pick up our friend and their daughter for the swim meet on Sunday morning. And the first thing she gets in the car, her name's Emma, and Emma gets in the car, and the first thing Mason says is, I got to say the F word yesterday. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like,
he told everyone.
Use that as like, can't show off by saying I got to say the F word, but he was like, I got to say the F word. And she was like, what did you say? He's like, not telling you, girl. Nope.
I'm not saying it.
So my man,
I got one time.
My man is locked in. He's smooth with it. But yeah, I gotta give a shout out to him. He was locked in like the whole game, dude. And like, Mia, she loves Penn State football, but like not really. Again, there's levels to the shit. So you know how I am. Everybody knows how I am with Penn State football. He is 6 years old and exactly like that as well.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on in the game. Like he knows, he doesn't like know the X's and O's, but he knows like what a first down is. He knows, 3rd and 2, like he knows what that means. Like he knows, he pays attention and he knows what's going on. So it's not like he just sits there and looks at the TV and like, blank stare in his face. He's like, we're arguing about calls. We're arguing about like the last play of the game, or not the last play of the game, but one of the last plays of the game, the Indiana touchdown. He's like, yo, he was out. I'm like, bro, he's clearly in. What are you fucking talking about? Like, this dude's out. Mason's like, oh, he's out. His foot touched the grass. I'm like, no, dude, look at his foot. It's in. Like, I'm arguing with my 6-year-old son about this, but I mean, you know how I am. So it's no surprise that my offspring would be pretty much exactly like that. So I thought that was, we'll give him a pass on that one, but I said, hey, dude, I'm hoping that this is the only season that you got to worry about anything like this, because Daddy had some dark years coming up when I was about your age. Like we had some tough times. I'm hoping this is the only bad season that you got to have on your plate for Penn State football. But I got to give a shout out to the homie for that's the ride or die right there.
Shout out for that. So until next time, we have only sports, different topics. We out.